Oh boy, Fairy Tail chapter 497 is definitely going to be the cause of some hype within the Fairy Tail community, because it was revealed within this chapter that chapter 498 of Fairy Tail will consist of Gray going toe to toe with Invel. This is a fight that I have personally been waiting for a while within the Fairy Tail manga series. It was bound to happen, let's be honest here, and the fact that we are so close to witnessing it, oh boy, it just gives me the chills to think about. Nevertheless, today I want to go ahead and do a video focusing on Invel, considering he is obviously going to be playing a very big part in the upcoming chapter of Fairy Tail. Invel is definitely one of the Spriggans we really haven't seen much of. He's definitely been kept on the down low within the Fairy Tail series ever since his introduction, unlike other Spriggans such as Irene and August, who had a big part after their introduction. But within chapter 497 of Fairy Tail, we got the smallest glimpse of what he's capable of. We essentially saw him freeze Natsu, Lucy, ERZA, and a lot of the other Fairy Tail guild members, and the only person who got past it was Gray. Now, this is what a lot of people thought would happen in this instance after we got the Fairy Tail chapter 497 spoilers this past weekend. A lot of people said that Invel will have been frozen everyone except for Gray. This is essentially put into action the inevitable Gray versus Invel fight, which is exactly what happened. Invel just went on to absolutely destroy Gray. He threw him into a wall, almost like a ragdoll, with little to no effort. The last thing we saw was actually Invel causing Gray to become cold, which you know is rare considering not only is Gray an Ice Make Mage, he is also an Ice Devil Slayer. Now, even with the small amount of panels that we've seen of Invel, I for one am really excited to see Invel's true power revealed, and this chapter has made me begin to question how powerful is Invel. So today I'm going to be doing a theory video based around how powerful I personally think Invel is, and how I personally think Gray versus Invel will go. Now, to kick things off, I actually initially thought, along with a lot of other people in the Fairy Tail community, that Invel was actually an Ice Mage, much like Gray is, which is actually wrong. I'm not exactly sure if we've seen this type of mage yet within the series, but he actually happens to be a Winter Mage, a very powerful one at that, seeing how he was basically tossing Gray around as if Gray was a ragdoll. Now, out of the gate here, I'm going to make a big assumption. What if Invel was a Winter God Slayer? Now, I personally see Invel as being a form of Slayer, whether it be a Devil Slayer or a God Slayer, but I personally find it most likely if he does have some form of Slayer magic in him, that would be God Slaying magic. I could personally see this happening, although it's a complete speculation, seeing as we haven't seen much out of him yet, but the fact alone that he was tending to a mage like Gray so effortlessly, a mage that I, along with a lot of others, see to be on par with mages such as Natsu, it is very obvious that he's a powerful mage, and typically powerful mages tend to have some form of Slayer magic within the series. So, right out of the gate here, I'm going to go ahead and speculate that Invel may be a Winter God Slayer or something like that. Now, as for the fight itself, I definitely think it's going to come to the point where the two are neck and neck. It's going to be a very close fight, and I hope that it will be a fight that drags on for a few chapters. Now, I swear to God, hero, if you one-shot someone like Invel, like you one-shot someone like God Serena, it will be off with your head! Nevertheless, though, I do definitely think it will be a very close fight, but from a logical standpoint, I do think Gray will come out on top. But if for some reason Gray doesn't manage to beat Invel, Fairy Tail will be in a world of pain. Another thing that we saw within this chapter, which was absolutely huge, was the fact that we saw Mavis actually struggling for her life. Now, I could see her possibly dying if Invel isn't taken out by Gray very soon. Speaking of death, I could see Invel actually potentially killing Gray in this fight if he were to win. But then again, I really do not see it as a very likely route for Hero to take. Along with that, there's no other mage in Fairy Tail capable of actually beating Invel because Invel froze them all. So that would basically be a dead end for Fairy Tail, and a bullshit dead end at that. It's basically all down to Gray here. No pressure, Gray. In the instance that Gray does win, which, well, I personally think is most likely and most logical, it's going to definitely come at a cost. I do think Gray will be beaten to the point where we may see him out for a couple of chapters, much like we saw ERZA up until very recently. And if Invel really does him in good enough, I could possibly see Fairy Tail having to actually lug Gray around for the remainder of the Alverez arc. I mean, like, completely knocking Gray out of the Alverez arc completely. Now, this would leave the possibility of Natsu and Gray versus Zeref out, which, for some reason, a lot of people think is going to happen. Personally, I cannot see it happening. Gray really doesn't have the personal level like Natsu does with Zeref, but, I mean, you do you, I guess. So yeah, I think it's most likely that Gray will actually beat Invel within this fight, but it will definitely be an amazing fight, seeing as I do personally believe that they will be neck and neck when it comes to strength. Also, I do believe that Invel wields some form of Winter Slayer magic, whether it be God Slayer or Devil Slayer magic. I want you guys to tell me in the comment section below what you guys think about that. Do you guys think that it's likely Invel could wield some form of Slayer magic? Nevertheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Now, before I end this off, I want to go ahead and mention the fact that this is my final video I am posting before I go back to school. So uploads are most likely going to be shaky for the upcoming weeks, considering the fact that I'm actually transitioning from middle school to high school. But nevertheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I said before, if you could go ahead and do me a favor by liking this video, it would be much appreciated. I will go ahead and see you guys in the next video. Also, go and make sure to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for subscribing as well. This channel is growing really, really fast, as I've said in the past couple of videos. I'll go and see you guys next time. Peace.